Okay, I got the wire connector pushed in, and had a thought that before I put everything back together, it would probably make sense to test this out and make sure that it's actually making good contact and that the headlights are working. So I temporarily hooked up the battery cable, and now I'm going to test out the headlights. Turn the switch on. I don't know if you can see on the fence there, but the headlights are shining on it. You see them go out, come on, go out. So it's working, thankfully. So I'm going to disconnect the battery again and then start reassembling everything, just in the reverse process of how it came off. So I'll show you the step-by-step of that next. Alright, ready to start putting things back together. You can see I added a couple of cable ties here, just to keep everything sort of bundled, and hopefully that'll keep these wires from getting tugged on where they connect. You don't want to make them too tight, but just sort of cinched them snug and clip the ends off. Alright, so the next step is setting this back in place, lining it up with the screw holes. Again, there's a T20 tamper-proof up top, one at the bottom. So I'll need to get those in place. I'm gonna get that screwed in and then show the next step. Okay, I've got the turn signal assembly mounted back on, and I also added one other cable tie to this harness under here. There's a couple different bundles of wires that were just sagging down, and I added another zip tie just to keep it from drooping. Also, I forgot to mention during the disassembly portion that when I removed everything, there was what's supposed to be a sort of a wire harness clip that fell out. It wasn't actually connected to anything in my case. It basically clamps around the wires like that, and it's slotted on the back, and it's supposed to slide onto this plastic receiver right here. If you can see that or not. But I tried to put it back on, and I just didn't like the way that it was putting a lot of tension on the wires. I have a feeling that may have contributed to the problem in the first place. So I'm not going to put it on right now. If a problem arises later, I can always drop this lower portion of the dash and add this back on. But for now, I'm going to leave it off. Alright, something else that I forgot to mention during disassembly was on the back side of this terminal block where the wires connect, there's a plastic cover, looks like this, that just snaps into place. It's going to take two hands to get it in, I think, but that's where it goes, like that. So let me get that put on, and I'll show the next step. Alright, I got that cover put on. So the next thing you want to do, if you haven't already done so, is remove this tilt adjuster lever. I had to take it apart, take it off when I disassembled everything, but I had put it back on so I'd have the ability to raise and lower the steering wheel to test out the wiring and make sure it was not going to hang up on anything. So if you've got this attached still, go ahead and unscrew that. Then you can take the top cover of the steering column and drop it into place, and the hazard light switch will stick up through the top, and then at this point you can rethread this lever arm back into the hole, at least get it started. Of course, it's got this like I said earlier, the notch section of the shaft that allows you to put a wrench on it. Alright, so the next step is going to be install this rear portion of the underside cover, which fits together with some tabs on this side and then a couple of screws on the other side. There's one screw there and another one on this side. I think the camera's out of focus, but it's on this side over here. So let me get that screwed in, and I'll show the last piece going on. Okay, I've got that bottom piece mounted. So time to put the the front side bottom piece in. And it's got 3 screws, 1 in the center and 1 on each side. I'm going to get that mounted, and then I'll put the bottom side of the dash in. Alright, I've got the lower section of the dash clipped back into place. It's got some posts on the back that just clip into some holes. So I've got that clipped, and I just need to finish putting the Phillips head screws in. Again, there's 3 of them. 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. That'll wrap everything up. Again, everything's put back together on the steering column. Tilt works. The headlights work. You can see them shine on the fence there. So it looks like everything's doing what it's supposed to. It wasn't really a hard process at all. Like I said, the hardest part was just making sure I had all the tools and the connectors that I needed. So anyhow, I hope that somebody out there will find this helpful. I'm not an expert, but thought I'd try to help out since I was doing this anyway. So thanks a lot for watching.